interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. All right, good afternoon. Welcome to Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. This is the show where the news is the actual conspiracy. It's the inside joke from season 1. This is season 2. This is actually episode 3 of season 2 of the Conspiracy News. And this show spawned off of an actual other show, as I try to adjust my damn microphone here. Oh, geez. Come on, man. You can do this. You can do this. It was Troubled Minds. It still is Troubled Minds. Troubled Minds goes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And we used to do a news segment on that show. And the news segment got larger and larger and more bloated, and it just started taking over the show because there's so many crazy things to talk about in the news. And that's the conspiracy, really, is that there's so much propaganda BS out there that there's no such thing as news anymore. And so as a result, it just made sense to kind of spin off an entirely new show. And so we did. And here it is. This is Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. And the inside joke is that the conspiracy is the news itself, because they'd rather tell you about what color Kim Kardashian's shoes actually are than what the hell's going on in geopolitics without spinning it. You see. So we decided, well, let's do this, and Twitch was a different new way to monetize it, so we did it, and there we go. I see you guys in the chat. What's up? Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is this show is a little different than Troubled Minds. If you guys are new here, is it just goes an hour, and we talk about just some quick hit news stories, and kind of just quick discussion on them and why it's part of the conspiracy about it, and then just keep on trucking and really just try and plow through a bunch of news and get to a lot of things that the mainstream has trouble covering, meaning that they may cover it because they do to cover their ass, right? That's basically what the reason, like CNN or Fox might cover something like the stuff we talk about, is because one, they want clickbait value because sometimes it's weird news, or two, they want to get to it quickly so they can say that they did cover it when actually they basically just put it up there super fast and took it down and continued with their propaganda programming. So, maximum brainwash stuff. So anyway, that's what's going on with this. That's what this show is about. And as always, as usual, we do have a call-in number, and you can be part of the show at any time. Again, part of the whole transparency bit. I'm pretty much right about nothing. So like, I never claim to be correct and try and tell you about, who you should vote for or any of the rest of that shit. You decide that stuff, or what political party or leaning or this or that. I don't care. Like you be you do you, and it's all fine. And I still think we can get along no matter what that really ends up being, right? So it's cool. But if you do think I'm off track, or you think you've got some feedback, or you want to discuss what we're talking about, as always, phone number's up if you want to be part of the show. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We have the Discord up as well. well, and you can join that and be on the show that way. It's without the long distance number. The 702 is a Las Vegas area code for those international types. So, okay, that's what's up. That's really the breakdown of what this show is. Taking your calls, looking at Discord, reading the chat, and talking news stories. So let's get started, shall we? After all the blah, 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 blah intros, let's get to futurism.com. Now, this is interesting that this is back in the news, but it is. It is. Oddly enough, this... okay, let's just read the headline. The Mars mushrooms are probably fake, but organisms could likely survive on the red planet. All hope is not lost for life on Mars. Now, oddly enough, this has been a story that kind of has been going around for quite some time. This is not new at all, but for some reason it's back in the news cycle. Look at this. This is from, when is this from? I think this is from today. I think it's from today. And there's another one here. There's another one that's actually from when is this? This is today or yesterday. Like, this is all it's all back in the news again. I have no idea why, because this is an old paper. So here we go. Let's just read part of the news story here. This week, a team of scientists made the questionable claim that images of Mars taken by various NASA rovers and spacecraft seem to show mushroom-like organisms popping out of the ground. We hate to be sticks in the mud, or in this case, in the lifeless Martian regolith, but the team's research really didn't hold up to scrutiny. Its central thesis was promptly torn apart, chewed up, and spit out by scientists who say the notion of fungal life growing and thriving on Mars is nothing short of nonsense. The conditions on Mars are so extreme that you're not going to see fungi or any kind of life growing at that sort of speed under conditions like coldness and low air pressure, Jonathan Clark, president of Mars Society Australia, told the South China Morning Post. Life can barely survive, let alone thrive. But there's a but, of course, right? Maintaining hope. Well, we can say, this is straight from the article, futurism.com, well, we can say with some confidence that there probably won't be mushrooms sprouting up around the wheels of the Curiosity rover. More credible research has suggested that some forms of terrestrial life might be able to survive the harsh conditions of the red planet. That includes black mold, which happens to be a fungus, like the not quite believable Mars shrooms. After recreating conditions like the atmosphere pressure and even cosmic radiation, scientists found that black mold spores were able to survive just fine. Of course, there's developments. These developments are full of coulds, mights, and maybes, but there's no evidence yet that Mars does or ever did host life. But we can't rule it out entirely just because of one mildly ridiculous paper on mushrooms. Now, this picture, even these photographs from this other article, this is from the Next Web. This is now maybe there's another paper that came out that I missed. But so there was a paper a ways back. I did an entire video on this on like so basically it went like this. I'll actually dig up the video I did on this and link it to part of this, to the bottom of this when we're done, so you guys can see that this is not new. Every so often it pops up that some dude says, hey, by the way, we have evidence of mushrooms on Mars, and writes a scientific paper. But clearly it's a lot of it's clickbait, a lot of it's not peer reviewed, a lot of it's let's call it pseudoscience, right? And they're just kind of looking at anomalous photographs on Mars. And so this is again from the nextweb.com. Let's go to this one and we'll go and read a little bit of this. But like I said, this is not new. This is not a new thing, and it's odd to me that it is back. And welcome back to the news cycle. Mushrooms on Mars. And actually, if you guys remember, this is one of the stories we talked about way back when Frank was on the show that kind of started the Mars Kush, right? The joke of growing marijuana and other things on Mars itself. So that's how old this story is. So like I said, I'm not exactly sure what kind of caused it to jump back up into the news. Here we go. Actually, here we go. Recently published research paper. Here we go. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's why. All right. There's a new paper here. I didn't realize. I thought it was just a rehash of the same old crap. But okay, here we go. I'm going to link this and you guys can see it yourself. Yes. Sweet. All right. So there's an actual paper that just came out. May 2021 is the date. And there it is. No wonder it's back. But so these actual photographs that you see in this, the article here from the Next Web, these are old photographs. I mean, these have been kind of run through the ringer and, through the conspiracy circles, quite a lot of people saying, it's a NASA cover-up, never a straight answer. They're always trying to lie to us, right? Well, in this case, I'm not so sure, but who knows, right? I've never been to Mars. Have you been to Mars? Yeah, right. So Alien Nichan says, "Hi, Mike. The real conspiracy is where is Frank?" Exactly, right? Odd that Frank comes up twice in the same episode after not talking about him for months. Weird. It must be a conspiracy. But anyway, here. So the research paper, I didn't get a chance to go through it clearly because I just found it, but I don't know. I mean, these guys are saying, let's see, it's from the Institute of Microbiology Chinese Academy, and Ron and Gabriel Joseph, cosmology.com. Fungi on Mars, evidence of growth and behavior from sequential images. Okay, that's why. So they're just going off the same tired ass images probably where these things look like. Anyway, point being is that this is not new. We've heard this before quite a few times, and it's about it's about hoaxes. It's about this isn't real. Though as you know about me, I do not discount the idea of life on Mars. Clearly not, but I don't think these photographs describe it at all, and are mushrooms as a result of that. So anyway, that's what's up. That's how we're getting started today and doing our thing with the conspiracy news. We do have a phone call, which we're going to take in just a sec. But before that, we have a word from our sponsor, which this will get updated soon. But here we go.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up to 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
Okay, so there we go. Let's go to this phone call. Well, no, it died. Call back, and we'll put you on the show. All right, so there we go. Let's continue trucking. So this is an interesting one, and we kind of did a little bit of this back when this was really hitting the news as well, when this story got out. But it's an old book. But here we go. This is from The Sun, one of our favorites, right? The Sun.co.uk, one of our favorite tabloids out of the UK, because of course, well, all the best tabloids come out of the United Kingdom, because apparently I'm told from our friends in the UK you can't get real news out there at all, and you have to get your news from Russia these days. So just FYI. But here we go. This is from The Sun, and even the folks in the United Kingdom laugh at The Sun. But anyway, so headline is this. Scientists predicted a man named Elon would colonize Mars in book written 70 years ago. All right, so Elon Musk's plot to colonize the other worlds may have been predicted by a German scientist 70 years ago. Writing in his 1952 science fiction novel Project Mars, engineer Werner von Braun, right? Remember him? He's actually the Nazi that came over in Operation Paperclip. He's the guy responsible for the V2 Saturn rocket. He's the guy that basically launched NASA, all right? Werner von Braun. So he's not just any regular old scientist. This is the guy, right? This is the guy. So here we go. Writing in his 1952 science fiction novel Project Mars, engineer Werner von Braun described a man called Elon who ruled over the Red Planet. One passage of the book, a fantasy blueprint for a human expedition to Mars, detailed that a Martian government was created led by 10 men. These men worked under a leader elected by universal suffrage for 5 years under the name or title of Elon. E-L-O-N, right? Exactly. And so von Braun was one of the most influential scientists of the 20th century and a key figure in the development of rocket technology in Nazi Germany. Following World War II, he was secretly moved to the United States and became a pioneer of space technology for NASA. Exactly. That von Braun. The same one. So anyway, interestingly, so he dabbled in some science fiction as well, and we've got quotes from him, from other people, from Carol Rosen, who's actually said that she was privy to von Braun describing the fake alien invasion, right? And so a lot of the Project Bluebeam stuff comes from that quote that's been attributed to Braun, but of course von Braun. But of course, there's only one one actual source for that would be Carol Rosen. So anyway, I digress a little bit there, but it's worth noting and mentioning that he's such a prominent figure in NASA and basically space, like anything space, that cool that this story kind of comes up, and now he's maybe some sort of Nostradamus of sorts, and the guy he predicted going to Mars and being the leader of the Mars colony is actually called the Elon. So anyway, let's see. Project Mars may have been science fiction, but it included scientific calculations for how humans might travel to Mars. The book's spooky prediction was unearthed a few years ago, but resurfaced this week on social media. That's why. So I knew that at some point in the past, these things, it did happen, because I remember reading this story and talking about the Elon and Mars and this just a little bit on Troubled Minds, but in this instance, it's back on social media, I guess, because maybe we're getting closer to sending Elon Musk to Mars, or he's sending himself, or whatever's going on here. But anyway, in one passage, von Braun described 2 houses in Parliament that enacted laws administered by Elon and his cabinet. The upper house was called the Council of the Elders and contained 60 people, each of whom was named for life by Elon himself. And 70 years later, Elon Musk is one of a handful of billionaires with plans to colonize the red planet within the next few decades. His company, SpaceX, recently became the first private outfit to launch NASA astronauts into space. And there you go. We all know the rest of that. But anyway, interesting that, like I said, it is a work of fiction, but it was written by Wernher von Braun, of all people, the main actual rocket scientist that came over from Nazi Germany after World War II and helped get the hey, chill out. Every time I do this show, my dog freaks out. Let's see. Axel actually says in the chat, new mushroom paper actually looks kind of convincing. Well, okay, except they're going off the same tired images, right? Am I right? If I'm wrong there, that's okay. It's okay. I'm like I said, I don't ever profess to be right about jack shit anyway, so it's okay. All right, so we got this phone call coming back. Let's take this and keep going, and let's go. Let's talk. You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. And you just hung up on me. All right. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. Do call, please. Get your ass back to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. And yeah, call back. That's twice. That's strike 2, bro. Or sis, or whatever. All right, so anyway, oddly enough, right, so if you guys are interested in that book, again, it is called, what is this book called? Mars Project, or was it Project Mars? What was it? Yeah, Project Mars, science fiction novel written by Wernher von Braun. So if you're interested in that, I haven't actually read it, but I think I should probably dig that one up, and I'll bet you there's some other interesting tidbits that could make a great Troubled Mind show. But okay, so that's what's up. So far, so good. News is news, and the conspiracy persists. All right, here we go. Well, let's go to another UK tabloid, because, well, why the hell not? This is the express.co.uk. This is one of the biggest tabloids in the world, is it not? Is that the one? Okay, so anyway, headline reads this: Yellowstone volcano hit by 43 earthquakes amid fears supervolcano is overdue an eruption. Sounds not very good, does it? So there we go. Yellowstone volcano was struck by more than 40 earthquakes in April amid widespread concern the U.S. supervolcano is going to blow one day without warning. But is the Yellowstone volcano overdue for an eruption, and should you be worried? Here comes the fear. Geologists behind the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, the YVO, have compiled their monthly activity update for the Yellowstone volcano in the western United States. A total of 43 earthquakes rocked the volcano last month, and the tremors were accompanied by 3 eruptions of the world-famous Steamboat Geyser. Although the activity is below par, actually, as you UK journalists, is below par for Yellowstone's monthly output, many people fear Yellowstone is due to pop without notice. Boom, pop. See what I did there? The volcano's biggest eruption went off some 640,000 years ago, 1.3 million and 2.1 million years ago, right? We've all talked about this, leading people to wrongly believe Yellowstone erupts like clockwork. Scientists and volcanologists do their best to quash this claim, but social media is still rife with unfounded conspiracies and doomsday claims. One person tweeted, "The supervolcano in Yellowstone will erupt before we get a comeback." Dun, dun, dun. Another person said, man, I remember watching a movie in 7th grade science class about Yellowstone and how it's bound to erupt any year now and just decimate the planet. I'm waiting, ma'am. Okay. All right. Cool, bro. Cool story, bro. But you know what I'm saying. This is clearly a concern, but I'm not so sure we can do a damn thing about it if it is, right? Earthquakes happen in Yellowstone all the damn time, so I don't know. Again, right? More clickbait media, more fear mongering, more. This is one of the ones that we really can't do a damn thing about. This is like a catastrophic type worldwide cataclysm type stuff, and so, what can you do? Yeah, it's not like an asteroid coming that we might be able to actually do something about. This one just goes boom, and it's like nuclear winter the world over. Not good. But anyway, there we go. More of this interesting clickbait, fear mongering, doomsaying. Yeah. Like I said, if I'm in the wrong business, because faith has the best profit margin, right? So forgive my blasphemy there, but yeah. So I should be saying instead that we're all going to die. Send me your money, right? That's what I should be doing. I'm just kidding. Here we go. Fortune.com. Now this is interesting. We've been following this one, and actually, let's do the update. Let's do the update on Dogecoin. Let's see how much Dogecoin is worth right now. Let's see. Dogecoin is. Let's see. Where's it at? Oh, come on. They took it off my thing here. All right, I'm gonna have to go to the NASDAQ. Okay, but anyway, Dogecoin is now at 69 cents. Holy shit. Look at that graph. This thing is jumping. So all the way back as far as January, this thing was probably down around 5 cents, around a nickel. And Dogecoin is now up to 69 cents, 0.6937, and climbing. And it's screaming for for that $1, right? So we have everybody knows that Elon Musk is going to be hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. And oddly enough, of course, there's expecting the media coverage and for him to mention Dogecoin in some capacity. And if that's the case, they think it's just going to explode, right? And they call this, in the crypto world, they call it a hype coin. And the crypto pros say, stay away from hype coins. So just FYI. And I did read recently, and I don't know if this is true, that there's, again, this is not financial advice, etc., so on, just entertainment. Don't make sure you do your own research and you got to say all that crap or you can get sued. But the thing is this, just recently, I saw an article that was discussing, I'll see if I can pull that up here in a sec, that was discussing that there's 100 wallets that hold 90% of Dogecoin, meaning or that if this thing hits $1, this could be the biggest crash ever if all those big bangers pull out all their money at Dogecoin when it hits $1. So that means, what's the market cap of Doge right now is going to be somewhere in the $85 billion range, I think, is something like that. But don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. But so basically, if 90% of that is held by 100 wallets, 100 crypto wallets, then that means that you're going to have 100 people that become, dozens or 100 millionaire types, and they could just yank their money out once it hits $1. And just, the entire thing will just tumble down. Like if 100 people pull all their money out of Doge, forget it. There goes your hype coin. But anyway, aside from all that, this is, again, Saturday night could make or break Dogecoin. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. We'll watch this as it develops. But as of right now, I believe Doge is at an all-time high. I don't think it got past 69 cents. It hasn't cracked 70 yet. But as we creep closer and closer to Saturday Night Live, today's Friday. It's Friday. This may happen, right? We may hit $1 and then see the biggest tumble ever once people start pulling all their Doge out. What's up? Supervike says, I'm cashing out my 401k and buying all Dogecoin. Don't do it. Don't do it until it tumbles. So this is the strategy, right? It's based on hype right now, and I don't know anything, so don't, again, not financial advice. Don't do that though, because this shit's going to tumble like crazy. So you buy the dip after all those big bangers jump out, and they're going to. Then you buy when it tumbles back down to like a nickel, and then wait for the hype again. But okay. But anyway, Dogecoin buyers are hanging their hopes on Saturday night. Well, Saturday Night Live to be exact. Elon Musk, the chief executive of Tesla, SpaceX, and sometimes jokingly Dogecoin, is set to appear on NBC's comedy sketch show this weekend. Cryptocurrency enthusiasts and speculators are waiting with bated breath for the episode. they expect the on and off again world's richest man to mention the so-called meme coin on air, potentially causing its price to move. That could mean lots of pain or euphoria for investors, and likely heaps of both, depending on which side of the trade one falls. And so, interesting. We'll see if he can kind of in the next, it would be, so probably 24 hours from now, so say 30 hours from now, approximately, will be the culmination of this. So this right now is going to be, the next 30 hours is going to be nuts for Dogecoin. So 69 cents, you see what the graph looks like. It's steadily climbing based on hype. It's hype. It's hype. But well, it's also got like an $85 billion market cap or something like that. So anyway, point being is just be very careful with crypto, in my opinion, just because this type of thing, as fast as it goes up, it could also drop twice as fast. So just there are other crypto, they call them altcoins now, that you can, there we go, hit 70 cents. As we're watching it right now, I think a new all-time high for Dogecoin. It just clipped 70 cents as we're watching the the graph right now. So maybe it's going to hit $1 by tomorrow. Yep, exactly. It just hit 70 exactly. Okay, the all-time high. But okay, so interesting. We'll keep an eye on this, and like I said, don't get caught up in this and buy now. This is the worst time to buy, because it's inflated from a bunch of hype that's not really necessarily based in good monetary or again, I don't know shit about it. So like I said, it's not financial advice, but I would say strongly hold off if you're thinking about buying Dogecoin. Anyway, there you go. Clip 70 cents, and there it is. There it is. Welcome to the weird world we live in. Phone number is up, 702-957-1037 if you want to be part of it. TroubledMinds.org is the official website of this podcast and the other. You can find the phone number and the Discord link right on top. And there you go. There you go. The Super Bike says it's okay. I only have about $54 in my 401k. Okay, perfect. So there you go. Then you're good. You're totally good. You'll probably do better with Dogecoin anyway. All right, so there you go. It hit 70 cents as we were watching it here, speculating if this thing will actually reach an all-time high of $1. It's already at an all-time high right now, and yeah. What the hell is going on in this crazy ass world? All right, we've got that phone call coming in again. This will be strike 3 if we fail to connect. But here we go. Quick word from our sponsor, which is you. I saw a few of you resubbed. I appreciate that a lot. We do have a Patreon. I want to say thank you to Axel Steele and to Alien Nichan for actually signing up to that Patreon. We've got two already, 2 patrons, so appreciate that. There's different support levels if you want to support the show. And of course, you could always do it this way through Twitch and Amazon Prime. That doesn't cost you any more if you're already paying for Prime. So here we go. Quick word from our sponsor, which is you guys, and here it is.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
Okay, there we go. We're back. Yep, it is. It clipped 70 cents, and this thing's still climbing. So yeah, Patreon. Let me explain. So there are multiple ways to support the show, as everybody knows. There's different things you can do, and so I kept getting asked if there's a particular way, like a direct support you could do for the show, and so Patreon is the best way to do that because let's say I don't want to disparage the platform we're streaming on, but let's say that for taking a cut of the dough that gets sent, Patreon does quite a bit less of that than the others, if you catch my meaning. So anyway, it is there, and what we'll end up doing is sometime this month we'll have an extra show. It's going to be a private show, a private Troubled Mind show, and it'll be like a hybrid show. We'll do some news. It'll be kind of like the old school. It'll be completely off the radio. It'll be completely off of all the platforms. Basically, it'll just be streamed live directly on Discord, and you'll be able to see my screen just like you see it now. You'll be able to see me. I'll be on webcam, all that stuff, and it'll just be a lot more interactive because we'll have a smaller group, and then we'll just we'll kind of shoot the shit, have a regular style show, and then And that's that. But then what happens after that is it doesn't go to YouTube. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't get archived anywhere. It goes to the podcast feed in audio. And it's also going to be blocked off to only subscribers. So it will be an actual private show. And it allows us to say some things that we might not otherwise say. Okay, we won't have the technocrats breathing over our neck. Maybe you say something sideways and get banned off of YouTube, or you drop an F-bomb on the radio. Things like this, right? We don't have any of that. It'll just be us hanging out, talking about whatever. And so if you can't catch it live, there will be an archive of it on the podcast feed, and it will be a private archive. So if you are, and it works all ways. If you're subbed up here on Twitch, if you're subbed on Patreon, it's all the same. So people wanted more ways to support the show, so the Patreon is up. There's different tier levels and all the rest of that stuff. So anyway, do check it out. I did link it, and you guys can have a look. Yeah, exactly. 40 says underground radio. Yeah, kind of. I guess kind of, right? At some point, that's what it ends up being, kind of like a radio. We call this Radio Free America. Yes, we do. All right, so let's continue with the news, shall we? There we go. Dogecoin just rifling up. Look at it. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. 70.7068. Yeah, so let's see. The next 30 hours ought to be hot for Doge. But then after that, it's going to be, I'm predicting an epic collapse after that. But anyway, who cares? Now, here's another interesting one. This is from pitchfork.com. And we have this. FBI unearths Kurt Cobain file. The archival records show the Bureau's correspondences with individuals asking for an investigation of the Nirvana frontman's death. Now, if you remember, tragically, at the age of 27, Kurt Cobain, the lead singer and guitar player of Nirvana, died of an apparent suicide, a shotgun blast to the face, and there was widespread speculation that there was possibly foul play involved. There was a whole bunch of drama with his widow at the time, Courtney Love, and a private investigator, I think several private investigators, where they were actually trying to get to the bottom of what happened to him, because I guess he disappeared for a couple days before this went down. He suffered from depression for most of his life, had a stomach condition where he was mostly in pain, which led him to heroin and some other drugs to kind of kill the pain. So in any case, like I said, tragic. This is horrible, all that stuff. But oddly enough, now the files are coming out. The files are actually on the way out. Oh, that was the wrong button. You don't want the full screen of that. There we go. So the FBI has released its archived records related to the late Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain, as Rolling Stone points out. The 10-page file contains letters from two individuals who asked the Bureau to investigate the rock star's 1994 death by suicide, believing foul play to have been involved. The police who took up the case were never very serious in investigating it as a murder, one of the individuals wrote. The other letter, dated September 24th, 2003, reads, quote, "I believe a great injustice might have been committed in the case of Kurt Cobain." Later, the person wrote, "I'm writing you in hopes for your help to press the re-examination of Mr. Cobain's death. Millions of fans around the world would like to see the inconsistencies surrounding the death cleared up once and for all. It is sad to think that the injustice of this nature can be allowed in the United States." The FBI file also contains several letters that the Bureau sent back to individuals, informing them that the FBI does not necessarily have the jurisdiction to investigate a potential homicide. Quote, "In order for the FBI to initiate an investigation of any complaint we receive, specific facts must be present to indicate that a violation of federal law within our investigative jurisdiction has occurred," all three responses said. The file closes with the facts that Cosgrave Mirror Productions sent to the FBI in January 1987. CMP is the Cosgrave Mirror Productions is the company behind the documentary series Unsolved Mysteries, which aired an episode about Cobain in February 1997. The facts reads, quote, "At least one investigator, Tom Grant, a Los Angeles-based private investigator and former LA County Sheriff's deputy, is convinced that the official ruling of suicide was a rush to judgment." Terry Mirror, the co-founder of Cosgrove Mirror Productions, told Rolling Stone, quote, "We reach out to the FBI for various stories and try to get information on them," adding, "So that was a typical communication." You can find the full Cobain file at the FBI's website, and here we go. Here's the actual. Damn it, really? The dog. Come on, Luna. Chill out. Down, come on. Excuse me. I think she knows she can get away with it because I'm over here doing this, and usually I'm like, bam, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll behave now. But now she knows I'm not going to like step away, and I just did. We just lay the smackdown. All right, so there's the actual FBI file of the Kurt Cobain thing. If you guys want to read it, if you're interested, it is curious that I don't know, some controversy surrounding this, some mystery still that they said back in the day he was it was a suicide, and and there's a lot of evidence to suggest that, of course, but then there's a lot of really shady things too. So it's a sad tale, and it's just a shame. It's just a shame. Thanks again for everybody out there in chat subbing up. Appreciate that a lot. All right, so what else do we got? Now here's the other one. We were talking about this in the last conspiracy show. Check this out. This is a Snopes version of this. So I always like to see what Snopes says because they're full of shit. With their political spin. So I'm always surprised when I pull up Snopes and it says like true. I'm like, oh shit, it says true. Are you kidding me? But here we go. This one's from Snopes, and it is a Chinese rocket falling to Earth, and no one knows where it will crash. This is one of their amazing fact checks, right? Which they're a bunch of political lying hacks, but in this case, maybe they're going to get it right. So an astrophysicist said the landing could be the equivalent of a small plane crash scattered over 100 miles. There you go. Give her the what for. Okay, so in any case, Snopes says true. This is true. It's true, as of this writing, that the drag of Earth's atmosphere is tugging a portion of a Chinese rocket out of the orbit, and that the debris could rain down across an as yet undetermined swath of the planet. The extent to which it will disintegrate in the process is also unknown, though the odds of the debris impacting property and land are low, which we've actually talked about quite a bit. Is that Earth is 70% ocean or something like this. So you're gonna, and not only that, there's a lot of the Earth that has is unpopulated or very very less populated, let's say. So the odds of this thing landing downtown Manhattan or something are extremely low, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. All right, and so interesting. So we'll pay attention to this. I just figured for sure Snopes would pull some kind of cover job and be like, well, it's a mixture, it's kind of true but it's kind of not. No, this is the truth. And so they got it right this time. But Snopes is Snopes. So anyway, every time we talk about Snopes, we go a little bit political. So I'm going to just dodge that and continue here. All right. I think the dog's under control. All right, so let's continue, shall we? We have this Politico does this. California population drops for first time in state's recorded history. Now, I bring this up for a couple reasons. Number one, I've seen a lot of propaganda going back and forth between the left and right, and it's it's like the Fox News, the right, the conservative type. They're like, California, everybody's fleeing California, right? And you'll see articles that say these things, and then I see other articles that are like, no, it's not true. People aren't fleeing California because it's just what the guys on the right are saying. Like anything, if you look it up, you can find something that kind of says whatever you want it to say. But this again just hit today, and it's from Politico, and here it is. California's population declined in 2020 for the first time in the state's recorded history due to COVID-19 deaths, federal immigration restrictions, and declining births, state officials said Friday. The nation's most populous state lost more than 180,000 people between January 2020 and January 2021, a decline of 0.46%, according to data released by the State Department of Finance. Though population growth has slowed dramatically in recent years, compounded by high costs of living and a housing shortage, this was the first time California experienced an annual drop since the state began recording such data in 1900, according to finance spokesperson H.D. Palmer. So curious now they're going to say that it happened from COVID deaths. I mean, that's a lot of deaths. I'm not so sure that's That's legitimate. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But is the California dream done? California dreaming? Is it over? Has the collapse begun? I don't know. I don't know how to. Again, I'm not. I don't have any insiders. I'm just like you guys. I'm watching the news, trying to pay close attention and figure out what the hell's really going on. But it is interesting to me that we end up looking at this type of stuff, and it is a political football, because it's California, famous for being a very liberal blue state, and their policies, and remember their whole they were going to do Medicare for all in the state, and then it was too expensive, and there's a whole bunch of stuff where they're kind of on the cutting edge of that progressive blue stuff, but also they're notorious for. I'm from California, by the way, so I'm not shitting on it as just frivolously. I've been there quite a lot, and they're notorious for having huge budgets, going over budget on everything, and then also not really getting the things done that are supposed to get done. Like for instance, I can give you a firsthand example down there in the San Francisco Bay Area. It took them years and years and years and years and years to build this overpass down there it was 680, 580. It was down by San Ramon and Pleasanton and Dublin, right down there in that little corridor, if you guys are familiar with the San Francisco Bay Area. But it took them, I don't know, a dozen or 20 years. It was an unbelievable amount of time to actually just create one kind of overpass change there to expand it and all this other stuff. It was insane. It was an unbelievable amount of time. And I remember when I was young, my dad actually joked that they'd still be working on that long after I'm dead. And it seems like it just seemed like that was the case. Now, oddly enough, I came to Nevada, and here in Vegas, like they put out. Now, of course, it wasn't as big, and I'm sure the engineering's different, but they did do a huge one in the middle. They call it the Spaghetti Bowl here, and it happened in like 18 months or something. It was like a year and a half. They completely redid everything, and then they built one up here by me. They built one down in Henderson. They built them all over the place, like brand new interchange type stuff in like a year. Anyway, I digress. But I'm just saying that clearly there's a bureaucratic issue in California based on just the roads and So anyway, like I said, firsthand experience, and if you don't believe me, go drive on those roads and you will see there's potholes all over the damn place. So there's a budget, right? The gas tax is supposed to pay for the roads to be fixed, but those roads aren't being fixed. So where's that money going? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Let's continue. There's my soapbox moment. CNBC.com. Here it is. Speaking of more soapbox moments. Weak jobs report shows the need for massive jobs and families bill, Biden says. Oh, all right. Cool. Right on. President Joe Biden said April's lower than expected job growth shows that his massive infrastructure and family support bills are needed now more than ever. The president rejected the idea that federal unemployment benefits are removing incentives for people to return to the labor force. Now, I don't know. I don't know about all this. It just seems like the one thing you can get away with politically and people don't get pissed is just spend. Just spend the money, right? You spend the money, and who knows? Who knows? It's tragic. I mean, we're already seeing some inflation. If you guys hadn't seen that article with Warren Buffett, actually, let me pull that up. It's happening. Like, this stuff is happening. You can't just keep printing money. At some point, there is a consequence here. Which like I said, it's a shame. This whole thing's a shame. Is that every single time something happens, we're like, yeah, let's just throw money at it, right? Let's see, where is this? Warren Buffett inflation. He said Berkshire Hathaway is raising their prices. Here we go. All right, so let's pull this up. Let's see. Let's see. There it is. All right, from the NASDAQ, NASDAQ.com. So this is a addendum piece to the Biden thing. Here we go. Warren Buffett says this. Here's the link. I'll send it to you guys from NASDAQ.com. Warren Buffett warns of substantial inflation. Now, again, right, is this real? Is this not real? I don't know, because you can't trust any of these assholes. But legendary investor and Berkshire Hathaway CEO chairman Warren Buffett sees, quote, substantial inflation on the horizon, boosting the case for assets like the Vanguard Short-Term Inflation Protected Securities Index Fund, shares VTIP, gold, commodities, and blah, blah. He says, quote, we are seeing very substantial inflation. It's very interesting. We are raising prices. People are raising prices to us, and it's being accepted. So there you go. So like I said, it's unfortunate that we find a way to just kind of screw everything up that's good. And by printing money eventually, well, you know where that ends, right? I hope you guys know where that ends because it's well documented in history where that ends, and it's not a happy, good thing. It's just not. Let's see. Axel says unemployment is set up in a way to discourage applying for jobs, and I think they're cooking the books on the unemployment too. There was a point in the Obama administration where the job market was so bad that people just stopped applying, and they just kind of wrote them off and said, "Oh, jobs are greater than ever." It's a bunch of voodoo the way they do this stuff. So it just pisses me off. More lying to us. Dark Devious says the collapse of Rome in front of our eyes, and I kind of agree. 40 says I worry about another 2008, and yes, exactly. Let's see. But I don't really understand how the economy works. You and me both. But I do worry that you can't just keep printing money for no apparent reason and expect everything to turn around. So. At some point there's got to be a reckoning, and sadly that reckoning means that it's going to fall on us. It's going to fall on the people that are paying, that are working, that are paying the taxes, that are doing all the things, and it sucks. It just sucks that eventually our stupid elected officials are going to just bankrupt this sucker and flip the boat over, and then the rats are going to scurry for the lifeboats. And of course the Zuckerbergs of the world have already purchased the lifeboats, and so, well, guess who drowns? So anyway, let's continue, shall we? This is from the Epic Times, and this is exactly the sort of thing that we've been talking about the entire time. A year ago, we were ahead of the game. We were talking about oops, I did it again. We were talking about the two-tier system of the vaccine and this type of thing, right? We were talking about like a two-tiered class system based on whether you're vaccinated or not. And here it is. It's beginning. New York baseball stadiums to seat fans in separate vaccinated and unvaccinated sections. People who have received a COVID-19 vaccine will be seated separately from those who have in two major baseball stadiums in New York, officials announced this week. And of course, that's the Yankees and the Mets. And so, once again, we find ourselves in this strange place where your medical history is private, except when it comes to this, right? And so clearly we have exceptions that can be made based on the whim of politicians and a bunch of other stuff. It's kind of crap, if you ask me. And so this in particular, like we said in the past, now look, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Please don't do that. Don't run off and say, oh, look what this asshole said. Yeah, fine, I'm an asshole, but I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Like, I understand, but every single time, every single person is an individual decision and an individual case on this, all right, on this whole vaccination bit. So you can't blanket everything and just say, there we go, we're done, because you might kill a bunch of people, and it's true, meaning that there might be people that have health conditions where the vaccine would not be helpful. So this is what I'm saying. It's like, it's an individual thing, and if your doctor recommends you shouldn't, which again, always consult a doctor, a good, competent doctor, because we know there's a bunch of assholes out there as well that won't do a damn thing for you. They want to give you some pills and get you the fuck out. But, consult a good, competent doctor. They're out there. They exist. And, see what's best for you. What's best for your health and your health profile and all the rest of this stuff. And I mean that. But this type of stuff doesn't help. I mean, we're literally we're creating this dual class of citizenry, the priority class and the plebs, right? And like history's never seen this before. How could this go wrong? Come on. Like this type of shit needs to stop, and they're too short-sighted to really see what they're doing. But fuck off. If they do this at my baseball stadium, we have one here in Vegas. It's a minor league ball club, and it's a fantastic little brand new stadium. It's the A's. I'm an A's fan. It's the A's minor league club, so I like going to baseball games. And you know what? If they do that shit here, I'm not going. Sorry, you just can't have my money. I may stop watching baseball entirely. This is the type of shit that pisses me off, because you can't overstep like this, because then you're getting in people's personal business and telling them what to do. So fine, it's just baseball, fine, right? Fine. But what happens when it's not? What happens when it's everything? You can't just check out of everything, can you? Yeah, so you follow me. Anyway, there's more here. Actually, let's take a quick minute here one more time and play the final blurb. Appreciate you guys subbing up. I see you there. But yeah, lots of stuff to talk about, right? As always, lots of stuff going on. And one more word from our sponsor, which is you, and let's finish this up.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up to 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
Okay, there we go. A final segment here, and we're going to round this up and finish this. So again, this is Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. We do this show Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific. We do it on Twitch exclusively, and then 24 hours later, it gets cut to a podcast and also pushed to YouTube. So you can find it there. If you want to catch us live, that's the time to do it, Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific. If you don't mind waiting, it'll be on the same YouTube channel you're used to seeing us on with the Troubled Mind Show 24 hours later. So tomorrow at about this same time, about 3 o'clock, 3:15, it will go up on YouTube. So, and also go to the podcast feed. So that's what's up. And then again, if you like Troubled Minds and want to know where to find that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, and that's on Fringe FM. That's on YouTube, D Live, and Facebook as well. So tons of places. The schedule is right here on Twitch. I just updated the schedule before we started today, and yeah, that's what's up. So let's see. Good chat. Let's see. Quint67. What's up? Robert says, at some point, if you don't spend on infrastructure, the entire country will crumble. And like I said, go to California and drive on those highways, and you'll see exactly. There's potholes like you could. I'm not shitting you. You could reach your arm into these potholes and not find the bottom. Right, your shoulder would hit the hole before your hand hits the bottom of these potholes. I'm not shitting you. Like it's that bad in some places. Like if you hit them, you'll flat your tire. It's not good. Like it's like there's tax money being paid for this stuff. Good tax money. They need to not stop stealing it and start fixing this shit. Let's see. Jay says, here in New York, easier to collect unemployment than workplaces cannot get people to apply. Axel says, you apply for a job, you risk getting kicked off unemployment if you turn it down, even if the job is much lower paid than your former one or doesn't offer benefits, is paper time, etc., so on. Part-time, yep, exactly. And there's, like I said, it's not as simple as just, work or don't work, you lazy POS, which is, again, what they want us to do. That's how they want to take the propaganda, right? It's like the people that work, gather and gain disdain for the people that don't. And, again, just like with the vaccination talk, everybody's situation is a little bit different, and there may be good reasons why people can or can't work. Could be health reasons or all kinds of things. You know what I mean? So as usual, it's just the mainstream media does their sweeping categorization of people based on whatever the hell they want. They get to draw their lines arbitrarily and then just call us this or call us that and politicize us as groups. But anyway, so here we go. Let's continue. This is from this actually 40s dropped this in the Discord there, and this is a little bit terrifying. Edition.cnn.com. Wearable electronic skin could monitor your health. Yeah, well, let's read, or let's just listen to a little bit of this.
Wearing your heart on your sleeve or hand could be the future of healthcare monitoring, thanks to an electronic skin, or e-skin, with LED display. Designed by this man, Professor Takao Sumaya is an expert in e-skin, an industry worth an estimated $4.5 billion in 2019.
E-skin is the next generation wearables. E-skin is thin, lightweight, stretchable, and durable.
Here at his lab, the Somaya Group lab at the University of Tokyo, he and his team develop different types of e-skin and experiment with applications, including measuring facial expression for speech recognition and tracking biometric signals like a heartbeat and muscle movement to improve fitness and health, especially for Japan's increasingly elderly population. The e-skin is made from an ultra-thin, hypoallergenic nanomesh material with a gold layer. It's attached to a patient's chest with some water, and, Somaya says, can be worn for a week at a time, picking up biometric signals like a heartbeat. A specially designed belt with a wireless transmitter can send that heartbeat signal to a nearby smartphone, laptop, or directly to the cloud, which Somaya says will allow doctors to monitor their patients remotely.
To realize the home health
Okay, so let's cut it there. I linked it, so if you want to watch the entire video, it's another couple minutes on that. But you get the idea, right? And so with the horrifying thing of the second 2 tiers of citizenry based on your vaccination status, maybe this is another part of it, right? Maybe you have to wear this electronic skin, and like this. These are the types of things that are being used as like it's good. It's good if you have a health condition where you might not be able to go to the doctor as much because you can just monitor your stuff at home from looking at this type of thing, which is fine. But holy shit, if you start like requiring people to have health checks to just get into a damn to the bar, for instance, or to a Costco or something, I mean, this is a problem. This becomes a social credit score is what this becomes. And not only that, it becomes a violation of people's privacy on an unreal scale. Like, really? Like, is a now, and this is the question, right? Does your actual health record need to be public as part of the overall public health? Does it need to be public? As part of whatever they're saying here, right? I don't know. Like whatever. Whatever. You know what I think, so let's continue, shall we? There's more. This is a good one. Speaking of public health and other good shit, this is from the BBC, and this is also dropped in the Discord by 40s. What's up? Shout out to 40s. Thank you for this. BBC reports this. Reused nose swab scam busted in Indonesian airport. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You heard that right. Up to 9,000 passengers at an airport in Medan, M-E-D-A-N, may have been tested with the reused swab sticks, say police. State-owned company Kimia Pharma is now reportedly facing a potential lawsuit launched on behalf of the travelers. COVID nasal swab testing has become routine in many countries hit by the global pandemic. Police said they believe the scam has been happening since last December at Kuala Lumpur Airport. I can't say that. Let's try it. Let's be serious here. Come on. Let's be serious, Mike. Kuala Lumpur Airport. I did it in Medan, North Sumatra. Passengers are required to have a negative test if they want to fly, and the airport offers the option of getting the swabs done on site. Airport authorities had used antigen rapid test kits supplied by Kimia Pharma. Following the complaints from passengers that they had received a false positive test, police sent an undercover officer to pose as a passenger last week, reported local news outlet DTIK, D-E-T-I-K. When he was swabbed and received a positive test result, other officers swooped in and raided the test site where they had found a used test kit that had been recycled. There you go. Holy shit. Right? Like, okay, well, who the hell can you trust anymore? Because this sucks. This is terrible, and this is, again, why we do this show. Because, right, they don't want to highlight stuff like this because it'll scare the piss out of you and make you realize that the world is not what they tell us it is, because it's not. It's not, right? Everywhere there's fraud and everywhere there's BS, and we have to always be on alert. And you never know. We're going to get screwed, right? So here we go. There's more. This is, again, from 40s dropped us some. And this is the thing, guys. As always, you can, if you want to get articles on this show and you want us to talk about particular things, just join the Discord, troubledminds.org, click the Discord link. There's a whole little subfolder in there that's called Conspiracy News Links. Just drop your stuff in there. And I scan that each time I come on and pick out some stuff that would make sense and pull it out when we talk about it. So if you want to get some of your stuff on in this show, particular articles, just join the Discord, drop it in the Conspiracy News Links, and we'll talk about your articles. So here we go. Dead celebrities, this is from Fox News, dead celebrities have large followings on Twitter, Instagram, and even endorse products and politics. Yeah, right. So Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley have large followings on Twitter and Instagram. The actress, who's been dead for almost 60 years, has about 1.7 million followers on Instagram, and the King of Rock, who's been dead for almost 45 years, has 1.1 million Instagram followers. Both have significant followings on Twitter as well. And here's Elvis Presley with a blue check mark, for crying out loud, on Twitter. Really? Wow. I guess you can tweet from the dead now. That's all good. Hair care must have. Elvis's comb. If you see more from the archives, visit Graceland.com to book a virtual or in-person tour at Visit Graceland. Okay, right? Here's another one. Marilyn Monroe. Tweet from Twitter. This amazing diamond crown ring from the exclusive Marilyn Monroe Zales Jewelers collection will make you feel like the queen you are. All right. I want to make one for Cleopatra and stuff. May as well, right? Do better than me. But, you get the idea here. Like, what is this crap? Get out of here. Garbage. One final thing. one final thing before we finish the final segment up and end the week. It was a good week. We talked about all kinds of good stuff on Troubled Minds, and now we're finishing it up with this. Now, remember when I said that if the boat, here's the metaphor. Let me back it up. The metaphor is this. The boat is the country. And if we continue to spend like crazy, you're going to tip over the boat. All right? And, like I said, the billionaires have already bought up all the lifeboats. Well, so who drowns? Well, speaking of billionaires buying up lifeboats, let's listen to this.
I'm on the island of Kauai, an idyllic destination for honeymooners, Hollywood blockbusters, and now Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's own private sanctuary.
But there's a dark side to this paradise that Zuckerberg has brought to light. A century-long battle over land that began when American plantation owners overthrew the Hawaiian kingdom.
So now a billionaire comes in with his money, doing it by force, removing people out of their land.
We see these sort of things going on every day, where what little land that was left for us now is up for grabs.
This is a rock wall Zuckerberg built around his 700-acre property. And just to give you some perspective here, you could fit more than 500 football fields inside.
It's one thing to want to protect your property. It's another when Native Hawaiians like Shannon Buckner still own pieces of your land.
So the land that you own is just across this fence right here?
Yes.
But Mark Zuckerberg has put up this wall and fence and it says no trespassing?
Yeah.
What would happen if you tried to go over there?
I'll get arrested for trespassing.
Even though it's your land?
Yep.
Shannon is among countless Native Hawaiians who own inherited lands called kuleana, which means responsibility. Individual parcels can sometimes be small, but they're owned collectively and are meant to ensure Native ownership in perpetuity. The problem is, kuleana lands are passed down through the generations without a will or deed. The lack of paper trail means some descendants don't even know they own land. Other times, under a complicated legal system called quiet title, a buyer like Zuckerberg can sue kuleana owners to force them to sell their lands, usually at auction for pennies on the dollar. And that's just what he did, suing hundreds and infuriating many more.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. There's more of this video. That was just 2 minutes of a 7-minute video. So I'm going to link this. I found this on Twitter, and it's messed up. This is messed up. So we have Bill Gates buying up all the farmland in America. We have Mark Zuckerberg just snatching up by force, suing actual natives of Hawaii who were, and the reason they did this is to keep it so that the Hawaiian Islands couldn't be co-opted by billionaires. Right? That's the whole point, is so that the land inside on the Hawaiian Islands themselves would in some capacity be held by natives, right, that have been there for a very long time. Their families have been there for a very long time. And so this is what we get. This is exactly the shit we get. And right? And what happens? That asshole Zuckerberg gets away with it because he's got all the money, right? And he's not the only one. There's a bunch of them. There's Bezos, there's Bill Gates, there's you name it, right? Like you can just track it all down and find one asshole after another. There's Oprah Winfrey, and they all say there's George Soros, and they're all like, oh, hey, by the way, we're doing all this good shit for people. Yeah, fine. But what about this? Right? Like, notice the good shit they want to do for people ends when they want their own shit, right? And of course, right, they chase the power because they've got the money, et cetera, so on. I don't need to tell you guys anything about this. You know, but maybe you didn't know about this in particular, that I saw the headlines that he had purchased more land in Hawaii. However, I didn't realize that it was literally by suing natives that had passed this land down from generation to generation. And part of it was put in place so that this type of stuff wouldn't happen. Think about it. If you have so much money, you could probably buy up the whole damn island, right? Of Kauai. You'd buy up the whole damn island, right? Assuming it was allowed. And these guys have more money than God, as it were. So it's not right. This is not right. This is not right. So right from the Twitter post here, Mark Zuckerberg has bought 600 acres on Kauai from a nonprofit for $53 million, nearly doubling his land holding in Hawaii. Here's a look back at when he sued Native Hawaiians to force them to sell their land to secure his previous 700-acre property. And this is the type of stuff that goes on, right? And so does this get headlines? No. What does? Oh, Zuckerberg bought some property in Hawaii. Oh, all right. That's what gets headlines. How he did it, how he's suing people, how he's literally stealing No, right? Because legally, it's stealing is legal if you jump through the loopholes and have the fancy lawyers, right? Then it's completely it's kosher, it's legit. Yeah, so it's sick, right? This is sick. This is sick. What's up? Supervike says, "I'm sure you didn't find that video on Facebook." No, why? Would they ban it? I'm not sure. But okay, so anyway, that ends this show. So like I said, it ends the week. This is Friday, so happy Friday to everybody. We will be back on Monday with another show just like this at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then we'll have Trouble Minds Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 5 days a week, you do get a show in some capacity, and tomorrow, this archive will be pushed over to the podcast feed and to YouTube, and I'll try and put up some other small content YouTube this weekend. Like I had a one go up. I'm gonna link this gratuitous. Actually, hold on. We got John. What's up, John? You going to be on the show? You want to talk to me after? What's up, buddy? You there?
What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Talking about this crazy stuff. I don't know if you're listening to the show here, but a lot of crazy stuff going on in this world, as you know.
Yeah, I love challenging it too, because you're hitting the nail on the head. We're watching a lot of billionaires around our country consolidating their businesses and stealing up a lot of resources right now. Tim and I call it they're nationalizing everything because they're monopolistic tendencies. So if you look at parts of like Washington State, Bill Gates did it there. Bezos did it as well. So they have a tendency, and you hit the nail on the head when you said Oprah Winfrey, the largest landowning woman in the United States. A lot of people don't know that about her. She owns more land than any other woman. So I'm pretty excited to see people starting to wake up to this kind of stuff and kind of spread the information about how they're doing it. A lot of people aren't willing to listen to the critique of that, and they kind of do the trickle-down economic, speech and all that. But yeah, it's brilliant. You pulled that up.
That's just a lucky find, and that's what I'm saying, right? It's like we need to be able to use the discernment of parsing the media and realizing what's just bullshit and what's not, and that in particular. It's not BS. Like that's legitimately tragic, and it's being allowed. That's the worst part, right? So at what point are we going to be allowed to stand up to basically the robber barons? I hate to use that term because it's so old school and sounds so stupid, but I mean, here we are kind of looking it in the face, and maybe with an economy on the fritz here. Print money. Like I said, the rich people are buying up the lifeboats, and then what? I mean, they're going to leave us rats to eat each other. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
But see, the thing is, the European Union about 4 years ago really started antitrust lawsuits against big companies like Amazon and Google and all that. And then halfway through Donald Trump's presidency, he decided that it's good that European Union is going through the antitrust motions with these companies, but they're American companies, and we should start the antitrust against them as well. And unfortunately, because these private companies, these billionaires own the internet, they've done a really good job of getting people away from television media and onto internet-only media. So they are now in the realm of domination because they control that data set in that field of information. So it's easier for them to hide their activities instead, because even though we all hate CNN and Fox News and all that, occasionally they'll bring up antitrust stuff and put Mark Zuckerberg's face on there. Or Dorsey, or anyone else, Jeff Bezos, who now has enough power to actually subjugate other billionaires from economies. So I mean, look what he just did to Elon Musk. He had enough power to get the Democrats to increase the corporate tax rate, or propose to do that by 7%. Can't ever forget, Amazon doesn't pay taxes, but all this corporate competition will pay 7% more taxes if this bill goes through. Yeah. These billionaires now the American population is going to start falling victim to billionaire on billionaire trade wars. And with the housing bubble that we're in right now, what a lot of people don't realize was happening last year, people weren't paying their rent. So private landlords who just got this, big string of credit so that they could start buying houses to rent them out to make money, they weren't making any money from renters, right? So, when they could be foreclosed on, the big companies were coming in and buying up that property. So we have this weird housing bubble that is about to collapse. And there was the redistribution of population that's happened in the United States. These billionaires are about to monopolize the rest of the United States. I mean, they are succeeding very rapidly. And they're doing a very good job of holding the political class hostage, because now it used to be the political class was above the billionaire class, and they controlled who was a billionaire. It's now the opposite. The billionaires control who is a politician.
Well, because the actual, I hate to use the term, trump card they had against the billionaire class, the politicians anyway, was they had antitrust. But now the antitrust division has literally just has somebody from Amazon running it. So it's like, okay.
It's done now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Well, we're going to finish the show up. I appreciate John from the Tinfoil Timothy show. Please follow them, guys. They're on DLive. They're on YouTube. Just search Tinfoil Timothy. You'll find them there. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good conversation. Kind of an extension of this show, really, and some of the things that people should be paying attention to. They do a good job of putting it together. John, thanks for being a part of this. You able to talk afterward? I'll just
yeah, for sure.
Okay, hop back in the queue, and I'll come get you in a second when we finish this up. Thanks for being part of this. All right, so as we finish this up, that's what's up. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Have a great weekend, all that good stuff. Gonna play some outro music. I was trying to put together the actual Star Wars crawl that you guys are familiar with. It's a little bit of a mess because I couldn't get the list from Twitch for some reason. So that's coming. I'll have that ready for next week. I know I said Friday, but sometimes you run into difficulties. So we'll do the Star Wars crawl and thank everybody individually who's subbed up and helped the channel and all the rest of that. So thank you guys for listening. Again, please spread the word. There's a whole other conversation out there that needs to be had that people aren't having, and this is hopefully part of it. So let other people know. And again, keep fighting, stay strong. Don't let the media try and fool you into believing a bunch of bullshit that is not true. Again, this is Conspiracy News. I'm Michael Strange. I'm me, you're you, together we're us, and together we're stronger. So like I said, like I always say, be sure, be strong, be true. Thanks for listening, guys. We will be back on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Look for some short content on the YouTube channel over the weekend. I'll put up a couple things, and yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, we're done. We are finished. Thanks again. What else do I say? What else do I say? Easy now. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing, buddy? All right, so we are finished. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you on Monday.